Welcome to the new business component of Step Solutions' automated underwriting platform, where we will go step by step through the platform's new business process. Then, we will see how Step uses its product configurator to manage this process and set up a product. Let's get started. Meet James Stewart. He is 35 years old and looking for a new life insurance policy. After a consultation with Agent Ross from Gibraltar Insurance, James decides to apply for a 20-year term life policy with a face amount of $1 million. For this product, Agent Ross is responsible for filling out Mr. Stewart's demographic information, medical information, and for submitting the application. How Agent Ross performs these functions and transitions through the application's e-forms is driven by Gibraltar's proprietary workflow for a 20-year term life policy. This workflow also dictates how Step calls databases for information. Calls can be triggered on an optimal basis during the flow, or they can be bundled and triggered after all data entry is complete. Now, let's see how Agent Ross can interact with Step to complete Mr. Stewart's application. In this scenario, Gibraltar wants Step to call databases and apply internal underwriting rules on a page-to-page basis. Additionally, all data entry must be completed before a signature is collected. Therefore, Agent Ross opens up his Gibraltar case list, opens a new case, and begins by filling out Mr. Stewart's demographic info. Upon completing this page, Step triggers one call to validate Mr. Stewart's address, another call to validate his identity, and a final call to ensure that Agent Ross is licensed and authorized to work on this application. On the next page, Agent Ross fills out more information on the proposed insured. Step triggers a call to validate the driver's license info and to retrieve Mr. Stewart's motor vehicle records. The system also sets a risk class for Mr. Stewart. Then, Agent Ross selects the type of coverage, and Step calls Gibraltar's underwriting engine to get rates for premium quotes. Next stop, Mr. Stewart's medical info. During this stage, Agent Ross discloses that James has gained 20 pounds in the last year. Step's reflexive questioning engine reconciles the disclosed information with Gibraltar's internal underwriting engine, and, using these underwriting rules, responds with branching logic that adds questions or changes the questions being asked. Agent Ross has now completed Mr. Stewart's application and sends it to him for review. At this stage, Mr. Stewart may either provide his signature or ask for changes to his application. If he requests changes, the request can be directed either to the agent or to home office staff. In this case, however, Mr. Stewart is satisfied and decides to provide a signature, which he can do in many ways. Options include voice signature, signature pad, click wrap agreement, or mouse pad capture. After James signs, Step has authorization to acquire his medical information. The system calls databases that are connected in real time to the application, which contain evidence-based information on hospitalizations, operations, medical exams, lab reports, and the applicant's prescription history. So what does this all mean for Mr. Stewart? Well, after viewing his prescription information, Step learned that he had once used medication to treat high cholesterol, which was reported truthfully by Agent Ross during medical questioning. However, Mr. Stewart was last recorded taking this medication prior to his recent weight gain. Step reflects this information against Gibraltar's underwriting rules, which dictate that James must undergo a physician evaluation. The system responds by creating a lab order and sending it as a task to Gibraltar's underwriting support team, who then contacts Mr. Stewart for scheduling. James picks a date and time for testing, and a paramed administers the required lab tests. Then, once the results are in, Step pulls the status file and image file from the lab provider system. The status file provides details on the status of an order, while the image file contains the results. Step identifies these files, associates them with the requirements, marks the requirements as fulfilled, and alerts the support team to view the new information. So what were the results? As it turns out, James still has high cholesterol. However, he has now been prescribed a new medication for the condition. Using Gibraltar's underwriting rules, Step knows to keep James in the system, but assign him to a higher risk class. Mr. Stewart's app is now in good order, and Step sends it to a Gibraltar underwriter for review. On the product workbench, the underwriter can view all recent activity, as well as the status of any ordered requirement. The underwriter may also order additional requirements via a drop-down menu. However, in Mr. Stewart's case, the underwriter is satisfied and approves him for issuance. In a matter of days, STEP helped Gibraltar issue Mr. Stewart a life insurance policy quickly, accurately, and at a fair price. In addition to rapid issuance, thorough examinations, and accurate costs, STEP also has great flexibility in setting up and managing the new business process. It all starts with the product guide, a highly structured document used to gather information on a carrier's forms, reflexive questions, web service calls, underwriting guidelines, business rules, roles, documents, reports, rates, workflow, and compliance. The system can import this information and configure a product in just 12 to 16 weeks. And when a product is set up, STEP makes it easy to manage. Let's take 3 examples. First, say a carrier wants to change the language in a form. An admin simply opens the product's forms template and edits the code. STEP also makes it easy to manage roles. To add a role to a product, either STEP or a carrier admin opens the product page, navigates to the roles list, and creates a new role. The admin then designs the role by assigning various functions to it. Similarly, if an admin wants to edit an existing role, he or she can add or remove the functions attached to it. The system also reveals the users assigned to any given role. Finally, to add a user to a workgroup or organizational unit, the admin navigates to the target user's profile and adds the user to the appropriate workgroup listed under OUs. Lastly, STEP's user-friendly interface helps to manage rate tables and build charts. After navigating to the product page, a user can both view and import a chart and table. Thank you for viewing this presentation. For more information, please visit our website or contact a team member below.